What's up, YouTube? Fish Tank people. This is Fish Tank 704 here, coming with a somewhat different kind of video. Now today, I thought I should start a Species Tuesdays, and I will be doing these videos every Tuesday, depending on how this video goes today. So none other, I thought I'd start this video off with my favorite loach species, which is called the Kuhli loach. Now, the Kuhli loach, which is spelled Kuhli, is also commonly spelled as Coolie. Loach is a tropical water fish that comes from the body waters of Indonesia, Malaysia, and other surrounding areas. The Kuhli loach is eel-shaped, and its body colors are a kind of salmon pink, yellow, with dark brown, I should say, to black stripes that half circles the body. The stomach is a sort of whitish color. The eyes on the Kuhli loach are set in one of the stripes and therefore not easily seen. The mouth is set at a downwards angle. Now, believe it or not, this loach is actually fairly easily to care for in the home aquarium. Yes, it's pretty much is somewhat hardy. I mean, you know, it comes with, as all fish, if you mess up too bad, you will kill a fish, but they're pretty hardy. Now, the Kuhli loach prefers medium soft to medium waters and a pH around 6.0 to 7.0. It has been known, however, for them to adapt to most water conditions. Its region in the tank is at the bottom, where it browses for food, and the temperature of the tank should be 75 degrees to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 25 to 29 degrees Celsius for all you Celsius guys. The Kuhli loach is a bottom dweller. That means it scavenge at the bottom of the tank for food. It don't really come to the top. So as far as food, make sure you feed them like bloodworms, brine shrimp, and all kinds of sinking pellets, because they will stay at the bottom of the tank and scavenge for the leftover food. And they are nocturnal, which means they only come out at night. But don't be too alarmed about that. For you guys that like to see a fish, you can actually train them to come out during the day and eat by just simply keeping a regular feeding schedule with your regular fish, and don't feed them at night. And by you doing this, what will happen is they will eventually get starving, and they'll notice when all other fish is eating during the day, so they'll come out during the day and eat. Also, they also like to be kept in a school of 3 or more, but of course, you know, the more the better. And the more you have, the more comfortable they'll feel coming out during the day, because like I said, they are nocturnal. But if it's at least 3 to 6 of them, you shouldn't have no problems with them. They'll come out during the day pretty faster than if you only had one of them. Now, believe it or not, the Kuhli loach have an advantage over most of the other loaches kept in aquariums, in as much as it never grows too large, growing around 8 to 11 centimeters, which is 3 to 5 inches in length. Also, their bioload is very small for a loach. Be sure to keep the tank covered properly at all times, as it can squeeze out of quite small places. Yes, and they are escape masters. Like, I've seen videos on YouTube where this lady Kuhli loach pretty much climbed on the top of her tank all the time and would stay there, and it looked like it was sunbathing. It would stay right under the light on top of the tank, out the water for quite some time. It stood out there for quite some time, and then I guess when it's time for it to breathe, it will go right back in the water, catch its breath, and then come right back up. Now, as far as tanks, you should keep these guys in a minimum tank size of 20 gallons, which is 37 liters. And they also prefer sand for substrate. But if you don't have sand, you can use like soft stone or dirt, because these guys like to squeeze into tight areas, and you don't want to use like a hard gravel or some type of sharp substrate, and they squeeze down at the bottom, because they do like to bury themselves. Squeeze down, so they'll squeeze down at the bottom, and you don't want them to cut their poor bodies. So I do keep these guys in my tank, and as you can see, I have smooth stone, a little bit of smooth stone, but pretty much my whole tank is filled with sand, which is actually their favorite kind of substrate. Now, Kuhli loaches are peaceful fish and prefer to be kept in schools of 3, as I said, or more. Because of the fish beauty, many hobbyists get them straight after they cycle their aquarium. But me personally, I don't recommend this, because even though they can adapt to pretty much whatever you hand to them, it's fairly hard for them to come into a new aquarium where nothing has really been established, because these are scaleless fish, and which means they're more prone to diseases. Now, as far as diseases, like say if you have like ick or anything, you cannot dose your tank with any ick medicines, because once again they are scaleless fish, so that will kill them. So what you will want to do is just raise the temperature up to 85 degrees or higher. They can pretty much take temperatures in the high range. So I mean, I know a lot of tropical fish can take temperatures higher than 85 degrees. So what you'll want to do is either separate these fish. Like, God forbid, if you ever caught ick, you'll want to either separate these fish and put them in a tank of 85 degrees or higher, and just dose your other fish, or pretty much like that. Because if you put medicine in the tank with these fish, you will kill them. Okay, and many fish can be kept as tank mates with the Kuhli loach, as long as they're not like most African cichlids would probably think this is a worm and suck it right up. Okay, and as far as the lifespan, they can live up to 10 years. Sorry about that. As far as the lifespan, like I was saying, they can live up to 10 years. It's been some cases where they actually live longer than that. But unfortunately, believe it or not, most of these fish don't even last a year in the aquarium. They not saying that they get sick, but they usually just die on accident, because like a lot of people will go try to siphon out their tank with a regular siphon hose, and forget that these guys like to actually bury themselves under the gravel. So they'll put the siphon into the gravel and actually chop these guys in half. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you want to keep these guys. When you're cleaning out your tank, when you're siphoning out your tank, please don't put the siphon into the gravel without at least making sure that the Kuhli loaches is not under the gravel. Now, to sum this video up, I'm pretty much gonna go over everything that I talked about in a quick, brief way. Okay, so the care level is easy or medium, but the tank needs to be covered, because they can squeeze out and pretty much just squeeze out the tank and die. Okay, the size of these things could grow up to from 3 inches to 4.5 inches, which is 8 to 11 centimeters. The temperature for these guys should be 75 degrees Fahrenheit to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 24 degrees Celsius to 29 degrees Celsius. The water hardness should be medium soft to medium. They come from Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and pretty much all waters around that area. Their behavior is peaceful, most active at dusk, being that they are nocturnal. Uh, they feed at night and hide during the day. But like I was saying earlier, you could change that. As far as breeding, they can be difficult because what they do is, I don't think I covered this, but I'm gonna cover it right now. As far as breeding, they can be difficult because they breed under the gravel, so you would never know when they are actually breeding. Because what they'll do is they'll just bury themselves under and lay eggs on the roots of the plant. So they'll bury themselves under and lay eggs on the roots of the plant, and you'll just never know. So pretty much as far as breeding, it always happened by accident. And what you'll want to do is just get like a group of 6 or more of these guys, and eventually they'll breed on accident without you trying to get them to breed. You will never know until you just start seeing little baby Kuhli loaches. Okay, and aquarium size, of course, the minimum is 20 gallons. As far as the diets, they are scavengers, so they eat pretty much everything. Sinking food, pellets are preferred, and so is live foods. They are bottom dwellers. They prefer sand over any substrate, but like I was saying, you can get dirt or some type of smooth rock, nothing hard, because they do bury themselves, and you don't want them to cut their bodies up. And as far as genders, female Kuhli loaches may be more plump when ready to breed. That's pretty much another way you can know the difference between a female and a male. And when they are ready to breed, the females will get more plump. And like I was saying, they prefer sand for a substrate instead of regular gravel. And once again, if sand is not available, get some type of smooth substrate. Make sure, because these guys do like to bury themselves. And provide a lot of hiding spots for these guys, because they like to hide a lot. And I actually do have some in my aquarium. I have 3 in my aquarium. Let me see if I can find these guys. Right now they're still on the training period, so they sleep during the day and they come out at night. I don't know if you can see him in the back there. That's his tail right there in the back. All the way in the back. Let me see if I can come to this side. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can move the heater. I don't want to. Let me try to move. Yeah, the guy don't want to come out. But that's 3 of them right there. All 3 of them is actually hot in there. There you go, right there. Look at him. That's one of them. All the way in the back there. That's actually another one right there. Hiding underneath this driftwood. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to get him to come out. There you go. Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap this video up. I got my daughter with me. Hope you guys enjoyed this Species Tuesday. And if you do, please give it a like so I can know you guys are enjoyed it and I can keep it going. Hopefully this one do good. And if it do, then you could be expecting another Species Sunday. Species Sunday. Dustin. Species Tuesday, I should say. You could be, look, there you go. You could be expecting another Species Tuesday next Tuesday. There you go, one of them. He came out. I got him to come out. But yeah, this video is getting pretty long, so I'm going to wrap it up. If you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe. And you can also comment and let me know which species you want me to cover for next Tuesday. Once again, like and subscribe. Later.